limping along, trying to get back to the yard so I can park the trailer and hopefully get the truck home without having to call a tow truck. But my transmission won't stay in gear in reverse, and so far just the lower gears. I'm afraid to gas on it hard and find out if the upper gears are that way too. Because if I get the transmission off and get the top off of it, the shifter, I might be able to find what's wrong and be able to fix it without having to buy another transmission. That's what I'm hoping for. Well, my dispatcher's pulling into the lot, and she probably sees me coming in with my four-ways on. Got the trailer off and rolling down the highway on the way back to my home. I'm rolling at highway speed, and it seems like it only jumps out of gear. Or it's not really out of gear, it only does that thing that it's doing in low range. Uh-oh, no, it just did it there in high range. Camera I got on the dashboard kind of quit working, so I got to use the cell phone. And that grinding noise is the slipping in the transmission. It's doing it pretty much constantly now. Got my four-ways on. I'm rolling about 40 on the interstate, but I do get off at the very next exit.
More of an angle, then the piece in there gets knocked off, so both of them are wore, and then next thing you know, there's nothing holding you.
Right. Yeah, I can.
And
I
being
can
you had
plainly see
quite a bit
that.
of weight on there, you were probably on the edge of it doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then now you just nip the rest of it off is what you end up doing.
Yeah, because it seemed like if I held the shifter in gear, it would stay a little better, but I wasn't sure. And then once I got on the highway, well, I got back to the yard, got rid of my trailer. Then I got on the highway and it seemed like it was fine. In fact, I even took a chance. I gassed on it a little bit, see if it, I even heard the turbo spinning out, and I thought, well, maybe it doesn't do it in high range. And so,
I mean, it sounds like it's in that auxiliary drive gear in the back like that.
Thanks a lot. That's just what I need.
No problem, no problem.
well, I am quite sure that my problem is in that auxiliary box and not in the main box, because the main box just runs too smooth. And I never force it to shift. I always,
Now here's a high side synchronizer ring. It's bad. You can even see
Okay,
it.
yeah, that's your.
That's
It's got
your-
a fiber on
It's
it.
actually a Kevlar, same thing as bulletproof vest.
Right, so it's got.
Okay, this one looks pretty good.
Right.
See the difference?
Yeah.
So
I'm used to the old brass ones on cars.
yeah, and then
I
they
used to be a
actually
car mechanic.
yeah, and that's where a lot of guys mess up too. They put that different lube in
The
there.
wrong oil.
It eats that brass up, and then it screws the synchronizer. We try to put a synthetic in there,
Yeah.
But that's like yours probably might have the Garlock ones. They don't have this one yet. This is supposed to stop quicker and shift better.
So I'll just get that auxiliary gearbox down and get that up to you.
I don't know what model you got.
I wouldn't know either.
There's going to be. I'll show you where the tag's going to be.
If I can find a tag, get a picture of it.
Walk around this way. Here's a 10-speed. An older one, probably about what you got. Okay, I'm gonna do the back box on it.
What's your name?
Vince.
Vince. I'm Gordon.
Hey, good to meet you. There's an older 10-speed there, and that's about what your back box is going to look like. Is that your same valve setup? That's your range valve back and forth. That should be pretty close.
Looks familiar, but you know, like I said, I've had the transmission down, I guess 3 times on clutches, but never took anything off of it. You know, I took the yoke off once, changed the seal in there.
But usually to pull that off, I don't know. This has taper bearings. Yours might not have taper bearings, so we don't know that until we know the model number. But usually, take all the bolts out, leave one in.
Okay.
Drive these pins completely out.
Oh yeah. Drive them towards the front, huh?
You drive them to the front. The pins are stepped down. They're tight.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what actually lines the front to the back. But what
You step down. I see the little shoulder there. Is that it, or you mean all of it? Is that what?
No, it's thicker here, and then it sticks out about a 1/4 inch so that it catches that back box and lines that with the front box.
Okay.
A lot of guys drive them in, they don't ever put them back in the right way, and then your back box is sitting crooked, then your synchronizer wears out. But
So I gotta press those back out.
just tap them out.
Yeah.
Spread
Oh, knock
them
them out all the way and then put them back
knock
in.
them out and take a pin or a punch and then push them all the way out. And when you go to put it back on, you clean them up real good, and you'll put them back in, and then you just make them flush. This one should actually go in farther.
Okay.
But you just make them flush to that back side.
Any other tips you can think of?
Well, getting it off, I mean, that's enough for now, and then put it back on. I can walk you through that. That's
Yeah.
cake.
Well,
The
I'm
main
gonna
thing
need to
is,
know because I will do a video on it.
You just got to be square to the front. You can't be this way. You can't be that way.
Yeah, just common sense. Yeah.
Yeah, once
It's like
you,
lining up a clutch, huh?
yeah, no. Guys next door, set it on her, go like that, and tighten it up and burn it up. I said, you guys just weren't listening. He said, well, no, we just set it down in there and then we just flipped it up. And we just tighten the bolts and pull it in. I'm like, 9 times out of 10, you can push it all the way up against there without pulling in with the bolts. If you're pulling in with the bolts, you got something going on that probably shouldn't be.
All right.
You force it, you're probably screwing something up.
Well,
That's another older one there. That's probably 9 or 10 speed, probably just like yours.
this is a great find, Vince. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no, any questions you got to do it, I walk you through it. And like I said, anybody can do that. A lot of people are like, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. If you're halfway mechanical and you're fine, you can do it.
Well, I hope I can do it. I
Yeah,
in-frame the motor and I
Yeah,
do all my brakes and stuff, electric, everything on it. I've been doing for years. I wasn't happy with something I had done at Freightliner one time, and that was my last time leaving it there.
No, that's I'm the same way with my vehicles now. You know what? You take it somewhere, they usually screw 10 things up.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Screwed up
times
before,
they'll
you know?
damage something to bring you back in there.
But no, and like I said, you want to get that apart, I'll walk through. You can rebuild that back box yourself. That's a piece of cake. No special tools.
Great.
Piece of cake.
Well, I'm quite sure I got what I need to get that box off of there, and I appreciate you telling me the tip about knocking those lineup.
Yeah, because then if not,
Dolls.
you play hell. And there's some puller holes on there on the back box. Usually they're so screwed up. Time you put the bolt in there, you break the bolt off. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't use the puller holes. Just knock those pins out. Leave one bolt out, and then get you a jack or whatever you got, underneath there, and then just wrap it on the side with a hammer, and a hoop, it'll break off. And pull it straight out.
Well, that will work. I don't need to jack it up or nothing. I just, I'm glad I don't have to take the transmission down.
Yeah, no, and those are, usually there's enough room to put like a 4x4 underneath that rear retainer.
Yeah, I'll use a transmission jack under there, I guess.
Yeah, somehow, but yeah, usually you got to space it up so you're not onto the transmission, and because there's not enough flat spot on yours, on the bottom,
Yeah.
to go on there. But I've seen guys under transmission jacks make 2 little plates, hold them to the bottom.
Yeah.
So
I took a cheap transmission jack from Harbor Freight. It's got kind of a Y shape on the bottom, and it's like $300, I think I paid for it, and I made a clutch jack out of it. I took an old, line-up pin, and input shaft, and made a clutch jack out of it, and that's handy. They're telling me, some of the comments that people send on YouTube when they looked at my clutch video. I had two or three different people coming back telling me that I should have taken the clutch apart inside the bell housing, just turning the motor, and leave the clutch in the bell housing.
Really?
And I'm thinking, well, I can see the possibility. It's not that easy to turn the motor by hand. And, well, so you don't have to line the clutch up.
They're saying stick it all on there.
Yeah, take it off that way and put it back that way. So.
Well, no, there's sometimes you see somebody like, man, never even thought of that.
Well, it sounds like, a thought, but there's just not a lot of access room to get to the bolts, and
I'd rather see what's going on. Put that clutch up on there,
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you take it apart once you get it down anyway. You pull your clutch out of there, but sometimes you can have fun getting it all to line up right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've seen it where that power bearing sees under there. You can come along and you can pull it out of the truck.
Oh, the pilot. Too. Oh, well, it's stuck onto this.
Yeah.
I haven't had that happen yet.
Yeah, who was it the other day? They said, man, how do we? I said, and he got it out, and that bearing actually welded itself. The bearing went out, and then they kept driving it, and it actually